Hi everybody. We have been doing a lot of growing and celebrating the last few Sundays. We've celebrated our heritage. We've celebrated our faith growth. We've celebrated unity. And last Sunday, we celebrated the fatherly love of God. Well, today, we are celebrating relationships. And the more I thought about it, the more the story of Zacchaeus came to mind. From the outside, it seemed that Zacchaeus had everything a person could want. A fine home, nice clothes, plenty of money to spend on anything that he chose. But inside his big house, Zacchaeus was lonely. He had made his money by collecting taxes for the Romans. As far as his own people could see, he grew rich by making them poorer, so they hated him. Zacchaeus was unhappy, but he didn't know how to change things. When he learned that Jesus was on his way to Jericho, Zacchaeus decided to go and see him. Among the disciples he had heard was a former tax collector. Was this true? How had he come to follow Jesus? Why had Jesus welcomed him? Zacchaeus longed to know. When the day came, the streets of Jericho were so full of people, Zacchaeus couldn't even catch a glimpse of Jesus. No one would let him through. Why should they? But Zacchaeus would not give up. If no one would make way for him, he would make his own way. So he shimmied up a tree like a child and clung to it on a branch. From this high perch, Zacchaeus could see Jesus moving slowly along the road. What would happen if he jumped down from the tree just as Jesus was passing by? Would Jesus help him up, take his hand, ask who he was, talk to him? In the middle of this daydream, Zacchaeus glanced down and saw Jesus looking up at him from the base of the tree. Zacchaeus called Jesus, "Come down from that tree. I need a place to stay, and I believe you have room at your house." Zacchaeus was so happy he dropped out of the tree like a ripe piece of fruit and landed in front of Jesus. "My home is your home," he said joyfully. All around him, he could hear the crowd humming and buzzing like angry mosquitoes. Why would Jesus choose Zacchaeus, a tax collector? They're all a bunch of greedy traitors. Why not go to the home of a good person who deserves his company? Jesus and Zacchaeus walked together through the clouds of stinging words. When they reached his house, Zacchaeus fed Jesus with the finest food and wine money could buy. Jesus fed Zacchaeus with kindness and understanding. After a wonderful meal and plenty of stories, Zacchaeus stood up and said, "Lord, I know what people say about me, but I will be generous to the poor, give away half of what I own, and if I discover that I've cheated someone, I will pay them back 4 times more." He held out his open hands. "But I will joyfully give even more if you tell me to." Jesus hugged Zacchaeus, and then he said, "Along my way, I've met many people who cling on to things, especially money. Entering the kingdom of God is a struggle for them, but your home and your heart are open, wide open. You give freely. You welcome me with joy today, and because of that, salvation has come in too. Zacchaeus, you are a child of Abraham. Never let anyone tell you that you don't belong." Then they all enjoyed more food and music and dancing, because when a lost family member comes home again, you really need to celebrate. Zacchaeus was excluded from the group of people lined up to see Jesus. Do you like how it feels to be left out? I sure don't. Who are people that we leave out of things today? How do you think that we could build relationships with them? I wonder how Zacchaeus felt when Jesus called him out by name. One of the most important steps that you can take in building a relationship with someone else is learning their name. Imagine Jesus saying your name. I wonder how Zacchaeus felt as he and Jesus walked together. And I wonder what they talked about. I wonder how Zacchaeus felt when Jesus told him that he belonged. Relationships are important, but they're not always easy, even our relationship with God. But when we remember that Jesus commands us to love like he loves, and that God will always find what is lost, then we really have a reason to celebrate.